Welcome. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kim, if you would take note that all three supervisors are here. And before we get started, just want to announce that we held an executive session on March 24th to review candidates for the police chief position. Guest recognition and participation. Erin, are you here?
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello, I am Erin Fike with SEK, and I'm here to go over the summary of results for the 2025 audit. Did you really get a copy? Okay. So the second slide is just saying that we have audited the DCD report, and that professional standards require that we inform you of your responsibilities under the generally accepted auditing standards. Then we just have the contents. So responsibilities, we are responsible as a firm for performing an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, forming and expressing an opinion about whether the financial statements were prepared by management were materially correct, fairly presented, and conform with the modified cash basis of accounting. And then we are responsible to communicate any significant matters to you. So an audit provides a reasonable, not absolute assurance that the financial statements do not contain a material misstatement due to error and fraud. That is mainly just because we cannot look at every single transaction. It does not relieve management or those charged with governance from your responsibility, and is also not a fraud investigation. So the township is responsible for preparing and fairly presenting a financial report in accordance with the DCD standards, designing, implementing, and evaluating and maintaining effective internal controls, and then providing us with unrestricted access, informing us if there's any fraud, illegal acts, or deficiencies, informing us of any subsequent events related to the audit, and providing us with certain written representations. As part of GAS, we're required to understand the internal controls as an ongoing basis for the audit, and we did not discover any kind of internal control issues during the audit. And then we also propose adjustments for any kind of like error reclassification that we find during the audit, and we have provided them to the township. And so the audit results, we express an unmodified opinion in relation to the compliance with a modified cash basis accounting, which essentially is like an A+ audit. There's no findings, no issues. I just want to note that our engagement team and firm have complied with all relevant ethical requirements regarding independence for the audit. And there are no significant accounting policy changes from 2024 to 2025. And then we did not encounter any kind of difficulties during the audit. There was no disagreements with management. And we were requested a management representation letter, which was signed and dated March 13th. We just have to note if there's any other independent accountants performing the audit or helping the audit, which there was not any other firms. And for audit findings or issues, we had a clean audit. There was no issues. The issues we had in 24 have been cleaned up, and there was very few adjustments. So Lisa's doing a good job in her finance department. And for matters of internal control, there's 3 different levels of a finding: a deficiency, significant deficiency, material weakness, which there is none for this audit. So I also included some financial highlights for the general fund. For the most part, revenues and expenses are pretty comparable to 2024. The main differences would be an increase in employee benefits and insurance, which is related to the police force joining in 2025. And then there was a decrease in transfers, and that was mainly because there was a transfer in 2024 for the capital reserve for police buildings. And as far as fund balance goes, that's also pretty comparable. ebbs and flows every year, but nothing out of the norm there for 2025.
Great. Any question?
None, thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job, Lisa. Moving on, we have the YWCA to speak to us a little bit about their sexual assault prevention. Council.
Thank you. My name is Jo. I work for the YWCA Lancaster, the Sexual Assault Prevention and Counseling Center. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so we are reaching out to city council members all throughout Lancaster County to ask for their support and just partnership with us so we can come to your meetings and just talk a little bit about our services. So at the Sexual Prevention and Counseling Center, we offer free counseling and therapy for all victim survivors impacted by sexual abuse, harassment, and assault, as well as their significant others. That could be parents, siblings, literally anybody that has been impacted by sexual violence. We also operate a free 24-hour hotline where individuals, community members, anybody can call for support or to ask for resources, even like other professionals who maybe have a client or whoever that maybe needs our services can call and get connected with us for whatever services, whether it is counseling. We also offer legal accompaniment, so we can meet individuals at police departments whenever they're filing a police report for something related to sexual abuse, as well as attend any like court or legal proceedings that they might want for us to be there and support them with. As well as we offer medical advocacy, so we can meet individuals at any of the local hospitals if they are going to get a SAVE exam, so an exam for sexual abuse. We can be there and support them throughout that, and we can obviously be there as long as the individual wants us to be. So yeah, that's a little bit about us at the YWCA Lancaster Sexual Prevention Center, and I just want to say thank you for having me and inviting me, and I would love to get a picture with you guys so that we can post it on our social media and give you guys a shout out for your support.
Okay.
If that's okay. You don't have to be part of the picture if you do not want
We
to.
can do that right now. Can we
Sure,
do it right now?
great.
You want to be part of it? Do you want to be part of the picture? You don't have to if you don't want to. Do you mind taking it? Thank
John, get my best angle.
you. We can all go back here.
This way? All the way around.
That's the best side.
Sit next to him.
I think we all collectively hold our breath.
I like your phone case.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joe, I think last year you provided us with some information and we were able to distribute it at the front desk.
Yes, I
Okay.
brought a little goodie bag and I left it back there. It has some information. It has hotline cards that you can put out, stickers, some pens. Yeah, just a
Sure.
collection of all the things.
And we have a great newsletter and a great website. So any other links, materials that you think throughout the year for this program or any other program, please
Yes.
feel free to send over.
Thank you. Thank you.
With our agenda being a little bit different this month, we have guest recognition and participation at the top. So if there's anyone that has any comments on non-agenda items, this would be the moment to speak up. Please join us at the podium over here and say your name and address. Okay, now public comment on agenda items. Do we have anybody that wants to speak on the agenda items? Come up to the podium, name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Joe Habib, and I've had the pleasure of living at 627 Conestoga Boulevard for the last 26 years. I live along the Conestoga River, and I'd just like to speak on behalf of the proposed ordinance to allow natural landscaping. Particularly along the river, the riparian zone along the riverbank is an area of incredible biodiversity, ecological importance, and needs to be preserved. And recently, my efforts to preserve my little section have been met with some requirements to mow it from the township, which I objected to. And unfortunately today I had to witness my neighbor who mows all the way to the water. It's incredibly destructive, and he mowed through 2 geese nesting areas. I had told them the geese were there. I don't even understand why this is allowed. If you go to the PA Game and Wildlife website, you see they demand 30 feet along the riverbank. So I'm here just to call for common sense measures that allow people to steward the land and preserve the ecological beauty that we have on the Conestoga River. Thank you.
Anyone else with public comment on agenda items? No. At this point, we're going to have a public hearing to consider some adoptions to our township ordinances.
Ordinance 2026-02, adopting the International Property Maintenance Code 2021 edition.
I think John's prepared to talk a little bit about both of these ordinances.
So before you tonight, the International Property Maintenance Code, if you're not aware, is the code that the state has adopted to, it's basically the part of the enforcement arm for us to take action on property maintenance. That would include things such as a fire damaged building, a structure that is unsafe, that needs to, we need to prevent people from entering, so the condemnation comes from part of that. The code that we were using was 2009, I believe was the last code we were using. And it basically, there's not typically a lot of changes every couple of years. It's every 3 years, I believe, that it's updated, and there haven't been a lot of changes, so I think it was just not adopted as ordinance. So what we're proposing is that we adopt the 2021 version. The Commonwealth has recently accepted or approved the 2021 building codes. So as of January, we're using them. To kind of get online with the same cycle, we're proposing that we switch to the 2021 IPMC as well.
Well, I'm going to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2026-02, adopting the International Property Maintenance Code 2021 edition.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance 2026-02. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
Ordinance 2026-03, amending Chapter 105 of the Code of Ordinances, Brush, Grass, and Weeds to add provisions permitting naturalized landscape areas.
John again.
So this one you've seen before. We've been working on this, I think, not quite a year now, probably last June. This one, over the last 2 years at least, we've had, and beyond, but it's getting more popular where folks want to grow this naturalized meadow-like landscape, which typically is longer grass, native plants. There's a number of ecological benefits to it. So there's studies in science that people are using to apply this to their yard, their little section of the world. Things like promoting health to animals, the air quality. There's a number of reasons why people want to do this. And what we were finding is folks wanted to do this with their property, and according to our ordinance, it does not allow it. Our ordinance says pretty clear 6 inches is the most growth you can have in grass. So what we've done is develop an ordinance that allows for those naturalized landscapes. But we felt as the township staff, there were some important parts that we needed to kind of regulate. One of those is right-of-ways and setbacks. So one of the concerns is plants that fall over into the road, the sidewalk, interfere with pedestrians, a safety hazard. And then the other part is not everyone wants to have this naturalized landscape. So if your neighbor has a naturalized landscape and you do not wish to have it, we ask for a small setback that would prevent the longer grasses and so forth from dropping over into your neighbor's yard. We've seen instances where neighbor disputes happen over things like that, and we just want to try and prevent that and give that small buffer there. So before you tonight is an update to, an amendment to the ordinance to allow for this. I'd like to take a moment to also thank Justin Hollier from our planning commission. He is employed by We Can Serve PA. Justin has been instrumental in helping us produce like a document that we can work with. And also Linda Farrick of the Lancaster Conservancy. She also met with me and helped me come up with some language and some ideas to support this. So we feel in the end, what's before you tonight is a very fair way to bring naturalized landscapes, but yet also protect the residents who don't wish to have that.
Great.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2026-03, amending the chapter 105 of the code ordinances brush, grass, and weeds to add provisions permitting naturalized landscape areas.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance 2026-03. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. So moved. We don't get many claps.
Deserve one.
We will take them.
When we do.
Secretary's report. Any issues, gentlemen?
Nope.
Treasurer's report.
All right. Fund balances for March. General fund and investments, escrow and liability, $6,797,900.39. Highway A fund, $1,505,589.06. Capital Reserve Fund, $1,575,863.20. For a total March balance of $9,879,352.65.
We will file that for audit. Bills.
Monthly bills, March 1st through March 30th, 2026. General fund total, $388,544.02. Escrow fund total, $1,736.81. State highway fund total, $31,077.65. Capital reserve fund total, $941,904.57 for total bills of $1,363,263.05. I make a motion that we pay the bills.
Been moved and seconded that we pay the bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Reports. Lafayette Fire Company covers the east side of the township, responded to 4 calls for us here in the township in the month of March. Lancaster Township Fire Department.
I guess that's me again.
That's you.
We did 31 calls for the month. As it was last month, the new engine did arrive. We're working on driver training and full mounting is happening, I believe, a little bit last week, this week and the following week. So we hope to have that in service hopefully by the end of the month. So if not, shortly after that. So
It does look nice. Bill and I were over there, saw it the other day.
it does look very sharp. I do like the black trim on the top
Looks good.
kind of did it. So thanks.
Great, thank you. Recycling report for the month of March, 16.02% of our waste was recycled. Safety committee minutes, sewer reports, LASA, and all other reports are available at council office for nominal fees. We printed from the website. Workshop reports, planning and zoning, back to Mr. Donnelly.
Thank you. So you'll see a number of items on the agenda for this evening for some projects that are coming up through. We continue to work with the school district regarding their proposals for the new Wheatland Middle School. That is still an informal process right now, so we have not moved into that formally yet. Other than that, it's been picking up now with the starting to see more violations coming in, folks out walking and they're seeing what's maybe they were sheltered from for over the winter. Of course, this is the first month you'll hear me talk about the grass, so it's growing quick. We're already starting to see some properties that are overgrown, starting to get there and really close to being a violation already. So we'll keep working on them as we get them and proactive as well. I think that's all I have for you.
Great.
Thank you.
Township Engineer, Benton Weber.
Good evening once again. Really, the only thing I want to lift up is to commend the Historical Commission. They're really leaning into wanting to help plan for our tricentennial celebration as a township, which, as you know, occurs in 2029. One of the ideas they came up with was to create an every other month email newsletter that would go out specifically for history of Lancaster Township. So working out the details and developing a publishing calendar, make sure everybody's good with all the topics and how this is going to work. But very pleased with their desire to lean into that and get going. Also, they were very happy to hear your idea, Ben. Some time ago you had suggested come up with a calendar of this day in history for Lancaster Township. So not really sure what form that will take, but to start to collect these various dates and fun facts, if you will.
He's got a lot
different
of it
things.
written down, actually.
I think it is daytimer.
You were here.
So anyway, just very pleased with the Historical Commission for their enthusiasm and interest to help with this.
Great.
Awesome, thank you.
Questions? Concerns? Public Works, Mr. Groff.
Gentlemen, a few things for you here today. On my report there, we've continued to work on the new yard waste facility. It's been trouble with the new permit regulations, so we're back and forth a little bit, putting a few things off, but we are working towards that. We did hire a new attendant. For those of you who've been there, we opened April 1st for our regular waste season. Millie Vasquez started on April 1st. She's been doing a great job. Township president here. We also, the guys today just poured the concrete for our new playground at St. Joe's Park. So there'll be a new playground. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be able to open that up to the public. There's 2 items tonight for you guys to look at, 2 handicap parking signs, one at 849 Prangley Avenue and one at 1235 East Orange Street. The ongoing software item, Tracer, our new software thing. We've been working through that. John and I have been working with Mike on that and the folks there. We've started to implement that a little bit. We're working through some known things that we're going to have, but we're taking our time trying to do it right. So it's taking a little longer than we anticipated, but when we implement it, we hope to implement it and be good as gold to go. So it's really looking good once we get there, but we're working towards it. And then finally for you, Bean Hill Road and Second Lock Road, I think you guys are aware of traffic issues that have been out there. We've been working with a local contractor and LTAP traffic engineers to develop some ideas, which one we're going to implement, which is going to be installing thermoplastic rumble strips on the approach to that stop sign, to hope to get people to look to stop. The stopping there has been a problem. The engineers that looked at it verified that with traffic study, and one of the improvements, low-cost improvements, would be to add 3 rumble strips 300 feet on the approach to that stop sign. So those will be installed by the end of this week, and then I'll be able to give you a rundown next month on that. But unless you guys have any other questions on my report, that's pretty much all I have for you.
Columbia Avenue and River Road.
Oh yes, Columbia Avenue, River Road. Ben, you had mentioned that. Bill, you had mentioned that to me. We will be installing some delineators at either end of that intersection to bring some visual delineation between the large shoulder and the lane of travel to help keep folks on the roadway at the entrance and exit points, so there's no wrong turning and all that type of stuff.
Thank you.
No problem.
Questions? No. Chief Seibel.
The police activities for March, we had 395 calls for service, 18 crashes with 0 fatalities. In light of recent response to resident complaints concerning speeding. The officer conducted numerous speeding enforcement details along Marietta, Columbia, Millersville Pike, Wallbank, and Rank Mill. And we also conducted 2 different DUI mobilizations, roving patrols looking for impaired drivers. As a result of those traffic enforcement efforts, 226 traffic enforcement stops were conducted, 111 citations were issued, 1 written warning, and 113 verbal traffic offense warnings were issued. In addition to that, 22 misdemeanor and felony arrests were made. 2 of those were DUIs. 7 non-traffic citations were issued for public drunkenness, disorderly conduct. We had 0 overdose incidents, and 2 death investigations that were ruled to be natural causes. We did have 3 vehicles stolen for the month of March, and they were recovered. And to date, we've given out 52 gun locks to residents to try to curb the amount of thefts. We've had 37 total vehicle thefts since we went live last January. Just some training. We now have an officer that has completed his first aid, CPR, and AED instructor training. That's an annual requirement that the officers have to partake and maintain their certification to be a police officer, so we'll now be able to do that ourselves. He can also train and instruct township staff as well. A second officer completed crisis intervention training, and this enables the officer to more effectively and safely deal with individuals experiencing mental health crises. The de-escalation technique. And a third officer completed A-RIDE, which is Accelerated Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement Training. And it's just a more thorough training to increase the officer's proficiency with detecting, documenting, and locating impaired drivers beyond just alcohol for drug driving. And our detective completed advanced training conducting child abuse investigations. And all the officers can receive their annual training in Narcan use and overdose reporting. So they've been busy.
Sounds like that. Any questions?
I don't know.
Thank you for all the work.
Thank you.
William.
Well, I want to thank Acting Chief Seidel. We've gone quite a while without a chief now, and he's stepped into the gap there, and you can see by the statistics and the work that we've been doing, like, we haven't let off the gas, and so thank you for your leadership, and thank you to the officers and lieutenants for their professionalism as we go through this transition. So the search for a new chief continues. We'll have an interview process this week with the help of the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association. Following that, we should have some internal interviews conducted by the Board of Supervisors. And if not May's meeting, then hopefully June's meeting will be in a position to announce and or appoint a new chief. In addition to that, as you mentioned, we had a nice meeting with the fire department. We met with the chief and the 2 deputy chiefs. Talked about a variety of issues. They are always hurting for manpower. We're going to see what ways we can help get them some additional assistance. We're going to look to have some of our public works employees maybe be daytime drivers. We're investigating a duty program to try to draw in more volunteers. And as always, whenever the public can contribute either monetarily or in terms of other forms of support, we welcome that. Our volunteers are a tremendous asset. They are unpaid professionals in every way, and we're lucky to have them, and we hope to continue to utilize a volunteer fire department for as long as we can. But that gets tougher and tougher every year.
Thank you, sir. Announcements, Tuesday, April 21st, 2026, 7 p.m. Planning Commission meeting here at 1240 Maple Ave. Tuesday, April 28th, 2026, 7 p.m. Zoning Hearing Board meeting here at 1240 Maple Ave. And the next Board of Supervisors meeting is Monday, May 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. right here at 1240 Maple Avenue. Old business.
Handicap parking sign application from Yvonne Bedford, 849 Prangley Avenue. We tabled this since last month. I'd make a motion that we deny the handicap parking sign application. And maybe we could vote and then we could discuss.
I'll second that motion.
Devin, can you give us a little
Sure.
further insight?
Prangley Avenue, we have a very short section of Prangley Avenue off of Southwestern Avenue. It's only 110 feet or something like that. And we already have one handicap parking spot within that area. The rest of that one segment of road is the city of Lancaster. And in that remainder, the city also has 2 more handicap spots right down the street. The one that is in the township is literally 2 properties away from this residence. And there are a multitude of parking related issues over the years that we've had with residents on Southwest End and Prangley, where parking is just, there's limited parking. So for those reasons, seeing that there's already 3 handicap spots on that short segment of Prangley Avenue, whether it's in the city or in the township, that was my rationale for denying this. And in my understanding of Title 75, that we are within our understanding that as long as there's a handicap parking spot within 500 feet of the dwelling unit, that meets the requirement. And this is within 60 feet of the dwelling unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
My motion stands.
Been moved and seconded to deny this handicap spot. All those in favor of the denial signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Planning and zoning.
LTDC 275 Reserve at Wendell Landing, financial security reduction request. I'll make a motion that we approve a request from Mark Will, WPE Partners LLC, for a reduction of the financial security for the Reserve at Wendell Landing land development plan. The request was dated February 10th, 2026. In the letter dated March 12th, 2026, Township Engineer Ben Weber recommended the township approve the request, but only reduce the amount of the required financial security by $215,123.75 to a new amount of $140,560.75.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to reduce the financial security for the Reserve at Wendell Landing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 LTPC 341, Savers Thrift Store modification request. I'd make a motion that we approve a request from Stuart Anderson Interplan LLC for a waiver of the requirement to process a preliminary plan and final plan for formal land development approval based on the limited nature of the scope.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the modification request LTPC 341. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I make a motion that actually demolition permit application for 322 North President Ave. I'll make a motion that we approve a request from LH Construction to alter a Class 2 historic resource at 322 North President Avenue. At their meeting on April 6, 2026, the Lancaster Township Historical Commission recommended approval of the subject demolition permit application.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the demolition permit application for 322 North President Avenue. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Demolition permit application for 1060 Wheatland Avenue. I would make a motion that we approve a request by LH Construction to alter a Class 2 historic resource at 1060 Wheatland Avenue. We have a recommended approval from the Lancaster Township Historical Commission.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the demolition permit application for 1060 Wheatland Ave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. New business.
Ordinance 2026-01 to enter into an agreement with participating municipalities for accepting of the establishment of the Central Lancaster County Uniform Construction Code Board of Appeals.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve ordinance 2026-01. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Handicap parking sign application from Celine Vega, 1235 East Orange Street. I would make a motion that we approve the request for the handicap parking sign.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the handicap parking sign for 1235 East Orange. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Having already had our guest recognition and participation beginning of the meeting, we are adjourned.